Okay, guys, welcome back. Um, let's get this show on the road. So we've got homicide, which we all know about already. Um, Killing unlawful killing of a human being. We did this in the last little video. Right now, let's have a look at murder. Murder is a common law offence. We know that. Lord Edward Coke defined it as. Now, if you look in that definition, it's got everything you need. Actus rea unlawful killing. Actus rea to reasonable person in being. Actus rea 3, under Queen's peace. Mens rea, malice aforethought, direct or indirect, express or implied. Everything's there. You do not spend one page answering this part of a question. Yeah, a murder question, the majority of it is not the actual murder. It's more likely to be the voluntary manslaughter aspect combined with defences. So don't be foolish and spend a whole page talking about murder. Be brief and get through it. So this diagram breaks that down for you very nicely. All right, murder, actus rea, killing, reasonable creature, under the Queen's peace, which I've stated all previously. It has to be unlawful as well, the killing, all right, which links to the Queen's peace, because a lawful killing could be, well, you could be at war and you kill someone, right? Mens rea, you have malice aforethought, direct, indirect intention. Nice and easy. I'll go back to that slide because I think I just rushed through that. When you're watching, just pause it as well. If you want to make notes and so on and so on. Really, you should know all this. I'm just quickly going through this before we do the exam question. Right, moving along. Loss of control. So where are we at now? What is loss of control? So we're talking now about voluntary manslaughter. Loss of control. Loss of control is partial defense to murder. So in doing a question where you mention loss of control, you must mention the Coroners and Justice Act 2009. You are using that statute combined with cases to analyse your scenario. If argued successfully, the defendant's sentence may be reduced. This is because it recognises that the level of fault is lower than that offence of murder, because there was a reason for the killing. It's not just randomly going around stabbing people. Necessary points to prove. Again, I'm going to apologise. I'm going to be coughing throughout this. Necessary points to prove for defence of loss of control to be successful. The defendant must lose control of their actions. So these are little mini diagrams and essay plans you can use. Really, when doing a murder question, once you've identified correctly, it's really quite prescriptive how you deal with it. If you pre-write essays again and again and again and again with a structure, you're only changing the bottom paragraph. What do I mean by that? Well, if you say, for example, loss of control, you're going to define loss of control. So you can memorize that section. Then when you apply it, that's your skill on the day. So there's nothing stopping you repeating that theoretical aspect as part of your revision. Writing the definition for loss of control with the case again and again and again and again, because you're going to have to write it again anyway. There must be shown a qualifying trigger. So obviously there's going to be criterion for that, and it must be proved that a person of the same sex and age, it looks like they're subjective to objective to all right, it must be proved that a person of the same sex and age, subjective, would have reacted in a similar manner. Objective, that's objective. What's it? That's objective. Subjective would be that particular person's characteristics. Objective is someone of the same age, which is fine. So that's an objective test. Sorry about that. 1 second, guys. Right, diminished responsibility. What is diminished responsibility? That's nice and easy. That is voluntary manslaughter part 2, isn't it? So you're looking here at the definition. Coroners and Justice Act again, section 52 instead of section 55. And you start to look here and look at this right here. Arise from a recognised medical condition. So it arises from a medical condition that then goes on. So you have to link that medical condition to say that it substantially affects the defendant's ability to do either these things. Either of these things. Right? The nature of the conduct, rational judgment, and self-control. And then this abnormality must be able to justify defendant's action. So you've got 3 criteria there that you have to satisfy under section 52 of the Coroners and Justice Act. Nice and easy so far. Remember, the burden of proof, the defence must prove diminished responsibility. Yeah, not the prosecution. That's very important to mention in the exam. And then obviously get reduced to voluntary manslaughter, which, you know, again, if I'm going too quickly for a slide, pause it, have a look at it yourself. Right, involuntary manslaughter. So what do we have on the table for involuntary manslaughter? So we have, let's define it, let's have a look. What do we have? Involuntary manslaughter means that the killing would not have necessarily have the mens rea element. Yeah, obviously, because it's involuntary. That's why you say involuntary manslaughter, right? This is unlike voluntary manslaughter, where they still have the mens rea to cause GBH or to kill. So two main ways: unlawful act manslaughter, UAM. All right. The defendant commits an unlawful act which leads to a death. So you're going to have to show an unlawful act which is a dangerous act that leads to death of the victim. The beautiful thing about memorizing definition is within those definitions, you've got actus rea mens rea. Yeah? Within those definitions, you have the actus rea mens rea. Look, the defendant commits, so actus rea, yeah, that leads to death. This is actus rea, actus rea, actus rea, actus rea. So what's the mens rea going to be? Very simply, the mens rea to commit the unlawful act. Very simple. So within just 2 lines, you've got your essay plan within the definition. So be sure in terms of revision technique, learn your definitions, because within there are your essay plans. And really, if you're super smart, you could write this definition, have arrows coming out of there with the definitions of those subparts with the cases, and that would be an very, very efficient mind map. So, gross negligent manslaughter, GNM. This is where the defendant breaches the duty of care. This is nice and easy. You've just done a tort exam. Don't want to spend too long on this. So you should have to show a duty of care, show it was breached, and show the damage type it was death. Superb. Exam question. Here is our exam question. You might want to pause now. Yeah, because some of you are going to say, oh, I want to pause, I want to write this out. Very good. Write it out. Go for it. Right. Marcus and Noah were walking home one night when they were confronted by Oliver and Perry. You can see where this is going straight away. Yeah, and an argument developed in which Oliver took a knife from his pocket. Aggravating factor. Boom. Straight there for me. Yeah, use of a weapon. He stared at Marcus and began to move towards him. Marcus ran off. Assault, isn't it? That's an assault. Yeah. Immediate apprehension on lawful violence. Yeah. So you're going to have to show. You're going to have to prove that assault as part of the exam question. Yeah. Don't spend too long on it though. And remember, when you're doing A2, it's not about spending ages and focusing on one thing. It's more about touching different areas efficiently and dealing with things efficiently. And you're looking at 4 to 5 areas per 30 marker. Yeah. Don't just get engrossed in one, because they are limited to your marks that are available. All right. Marcus ran off, he's followed by Oliver. Realising that Oliver was catching him, Marcus tried to run across a busy road. He was struck by a lorry and killed him. That's unlawful for me. That's shouting out unlawful act manslaughter. Yeah. There's probably debate about murder there somewhere. Oliver returned. I'm not going to say much now. I'm just going to read it out and we'll go to the next slide. Oliver returned to find Perry attacking Noah with a baseball bat. Don't need to say that. You know what that is. When Perry dropped the bat, Noah punched and kicked him. Oliver picked up the bat and used it to strike Noah 4 fine times in the head. Oliver ran off, leaving Noah unconscious. Perry dragged Noah to a nearby hospital, dropping him there 3 times on the way. That's shouting out something to you as well. Noah died. This is quite an interesting question, because it actually covers all 3, doesn't it? Murder, voluntary manslaughter, and involuntary manslaughter. Because you lot will be like, whoa, that's a bit negligent here. Yeah, you'll be like, yeah, that pulling out a knife on someone and them dying, unlawful manslaughter. So let's see. All right. What you should do now is pause the video and write down what you think it is. It's very important you do this, because the answers are not available in the actual exam, are they? So you should exercise your skills whenever you have the opportunity to do so. So stop right now and write down an essay plan which you believe to be true. Right, let's have a look. So, involuntary unlawful act manslaughter, right there. Yeah? Involuntary manslaughter, unlawful act manslaughter again. Busy road. They're going for the assault element, which we've talked about. Murder, here we've got self-defense. Yeah. When Perry dropped the bat, Noah punched and kicked him. So Oliver returned to find Perry attacking Noah with a baseball bat. But Perry then drops that bat and Noah punches and kicks him. Okay, self-defense. Aggravating factor, their use of a weapon. Superb. We've got murder. So it's going to be murder with self-defense there. It's a brilliant question. And then causation. All right. Is there something that breaks a chain of causation? Yeah. Now, I'm going to go back. I'm going to add something. I would say also you can talk about gross negligent manslaughter. Yeah. Because he has a duty of care to make sure that an injured person is, especially when it's his friend, is dealt with in the correct manner. You know this, if you can answer this question, you've covered about 70% of what we discussed earlier. So my advice for you is you should answer this question. Try to email it to me before we get back, and I will mark it. Yeah, I'm on it now, so I'm going to try to release one video a day. So tomorrow you should get another. You probably get property offences or something like that. So what I want you to do now, I'm just going to post the answer up here. Hopefully it comes out clearly. I'm going to let you read that, pause it, go through it. Yeah, can I zoom in on it so it's bigger for you? Yeah, there you go. Because some of you have got the issues with your eyes, haven't you? But you're probably sitting far away at the back, away from the screen. Okay, I'm joking. But here you go. Okay, I'll go there. You can stop. You can pause. Have a look at that. I'll go again. You can stop, pause, have a look at that. Right. What's going on here? Alright. Here's the second part of that. Alright, I'll do the same for you. Oh. There we go. So Oliver hit Noah 4 times on the head. So on and so on and so on. Yep. Have a look at that. All the cases are in there for you as well. Okay. And then the final page of the answer. Superb. Alright. Have a look at that. And then I'll add the gross negligent manslaughter in there as well. Fantastic question to do in the exam. So much to talk about. So many cases to cover. Remember, be efficient. Cover as much as you can. Right. Over and out. We're going to stop this recording. We're going to stream it. No, it's not streamed. I'm just going to upload it.